potentially stun him, burst him with Pierce the Veil, and it's definitely a possibility as he will go into a generally normal build here that we'll see Mortis do. Just Treads, Mask of Madness, Maelstrom, maybe some Silver Edge or Daedalus, just get that damage pumping out. Of course, a BKB at one point might be a necessity here.
And of course, if you're surprised, if you're questioning yourself, who is this Faker guy? No, he has not changed video games. That is KXY. So KXY, I think he believes he wants to be known more as Faker these days. I was looking at some of his other profiles. I see Faker all over the place. So, yep, the Faker of Dota. Definitely wants to be that guy. That's going to be the mid Pangolier.
The real Faker.
The real could be.
Well, depends how you look at it. The real Faker.
Well, the real Faker
being
probably
the fake
won't do as good. Fake Faker. Austin, pretty close to the rest of Infinity here, but we will not get a brawl to start things off with. Already pinging out ward positions. However, it's on the other side for Infinity and Universitario. Well, Austin, he's going to get jumped on here as he walks into Lumiere, and Gardex also going to be backing him up. This Mar pops the tag team, but this Tusk can't stand his ground. He's going to have to go on the move. And we will not see a first blood happen, but we do get a D ward out of Gardex ward. Oh, yeah, actually, Michael's the one to kill, and it is Gardex with the D ward. Getting that money, so Universitario losing a bit of that extra vision. However, they have another observer straight in the middle of that mid lane. Don't probably expect it to be there, but they still have the vision for it, going in the mid lane.
This Train Protector, Leech Seed, only costing 80 mana now. It was actually buffed in 7.34B. Probably why we're seeing a lot more Treant, but 25 heal damage per second for a 5-second duration. That's actually a crazy 125 damage heal and nuke ability. No wonder this hero's off the charts in win rate.
Like, oh, the bottom lane, they've dropped the calling there. Will silence Michael and Vitaly for a second. Austin, he does drop low, however. Gonna have to regenerate quickly back into that lane so Dad doesn't end up in trouble. He can keep a stable lane. You can poke a lot with this Muerta. And you scale pretty hard as well once you get if you get good positioning with Pierce the Veil.
Yep. If you just get good, you'll scale.
Surely.
Agree with that one.
Easy way to look at Dota that way when you think about it.
Yeah, one of my favorite things, of course, just to get good. And both these teams are quite good, so that should not be an issue here. And I do like the tag from Universitario here, just the U. That looks nice in the brackets there. Big fan of that one. As this mid lane is a matchup
reminds me of your college times.
Yeah, just a little bit. The university student times here, as that is what their name does mean here. And Faker 10-1 against a 6-0.
Oh, that's a first blood as well. Vitaly gonna drop, which Dad's gonna be picking up. Michael fighting in the cogs at the same time. But the battery assault will annoy that Skywrath's right-click animation just enough. That sneaks the kill. Austin, he'll just deny himself to the tower. It's going to be a split kill as well, so that's not going to feel too good for the ex-Hikori lineup of Infinity.
Yeah, with that reliable gold there, the Clockwork only loses 10 gold for just a free refill, and he's picking up a Robe of the Magi and Boots of Speeder, so Mir will get locked here.
He's got no waveform right now. He does have the 10 stick charges, and Gardex going to have to come to the rescue. Surprise Morph. Yeah, he's just holding on to them for as long as possible so he can go for the full attribute shift. And that was a good attempt there from Dismar and Lissex.
But unfortunately, when it comes to Morphling,
it's not
temps don't matter. Only killing the hero does is he will get salved up. Oh, almost canceled that one, and back to full HP here. He doesn't even want to use those 10 stick charges. 3 minutes coming out. Now we're going to get the Lotus pools. Who's going to collect these ones? Looks like Dad and Gardic will be getting the Lotuses.
Very likely Gardic for Lumiere as well. Morphling probably one of the best heroes to get that Lotus up early on. Get that quick burst of heal.
Yeah, he can always use it on him if needed, so
yeah,
we'll see how they choose to use that
one. Dropping a pretty early calling here. Won't catch the Skywrath, but they will kill him nevertheless. Inside the cogs, that's going to be the third kill going for Universitario.
Yeah, we talked about how strong this Clockwork Morta lane is. Use that calling, use a battery assault, get him caught in a power cogs and a battery assault with the calling down. That Skywrath has no chance whatsoever here.
Yeah. And the best part about it, they only got like one connection of the calling until he was already outside of range for him, and still getting the kill fairly easily. Skyrath, you got 0 armor. This is a straight up blast cannon.
Mid.
Rotating into mid, going for James, trying to go for the burst, and it looks
that
like
actually
it's going to
worked?
happen. Nicely done
That
there.
actually worked. He refilled the bottle and then smoked the Pango. I was like, what is this? Is he
Top lane,
smoking him?
Bismarck. He's going to go down. Gardex also very low, and Midlisix will get that right click required to finish off the kill. There's also the AI intervening, the Centaur keeping Lumiere at bay. That's a lot of kills right there.
It is indeed, and I really want to just touch on how cool that play was from Michael here. He's actually been one of those players in POS 4 I've been seeing a lot that has been impressing me from the region with how cool little plays are like that. Like, he just smoked his mid laner, and I was like, what is the purpose of this? I don't get this. And then the mid laner just stays in mid, so I thought he was going to go bot, then he just wraps around, and Pango pops out of the smoke, and they just jump him immediately. So that was a really cool play that you don't see every day.
Of course, these early rotations, now Skyrath has +1 armor, 6% physical damage resistance. Hooray! That might help out versus the Muerta and the Clockwork.
If he gets caught in cogs, no. Unfortunately, not.
Exactly. Take away all that security.
In fact,
But
even
looking
if
at
he
the-
was like physically immune, he probably would still die to this lane.
True.
How much magic damage they have to pop out here.
Resistances ain't high enough this early on in the game. But yeah, looking at the CS board, only the Brewmaster is not having a great time. Vitaly, of course, this is a pretty somewhat difficult hero to CS with, I'd say. You've got high right-click damage, but despite that, like this threatening lane, it's been the Skyrath tanking most of these attempts and also getting a couple kills for Universitario, thanks to those. But still, Brew hasn't been able to capitalize with the CS and the farm, and he's only up to 13. Which is not too good.
And Faker is just chasing Coddle in the jungle here. I wonder what the plan is at the moment. I guess they do find the Clockwork here. One more
One more
ult.
hit.
Don't even need it, but we'll send it off anyway just to make sure that there's no region shenanigans there.
Just a quick reminder. You'll take
That's
this
a big
bolt
kill.
with you to the grave. That is a big kill indeed. Like helping out with a bit of an assist going for this Pango, but most importantly, Sky, who's a hero that's basically built off of ganks and kills, and you get most of your experience through that. Because Brewmaster just wants to soak up the lane. If he's close enough to the fight, he'll join in, but he just wants to stick around. Kind of like the Dooms, right? They just want to farm for as long as possible. And there comes a Fear. Nicely connected there with the dead shot. And Vitaly, still very, very tanky.
Oh, Faker TP'd bot here. He doesn't want to do this for nothing here, but I think that just might be the case here. As he will come down, no Rolling Thunder is used. Good patience there from Universitario here. And 6-minute rune coming out.
They did place that ward down as that fight broke loose, so I think that also scouted out his move towards that lane, which always hurts a bit. That
And we got
ward
3
exactly right
points
there.
in the calling from Dad here, which is a little unusual, as
They
it
wanna
will
fight.
slow down your farming.
I honestly think it's a good farming tool, the calling. I think this is like what I've seen from the carry Muertas. You do want to get at least 3 points, maybe even the full 4 points, and you can farm Ancients with it very, very easily. So above going Gunslinger, when your right-click damage ain't that high, you go for Deadshot on the calling, and that's about it. So I approve.
All right, we'll see if he can keep up with the farm with the Morphling here. As for now, though, they are kind of neck and neck, but with the kills, Dad is slightly ahead here.
But only 8 kills. We started off with a very, very electric beginning for the game. A lot of brawling in all of these lanes, technically. And now a bit of a breather coming in between. As you can see, the department there of gold being gained and the last hits gold accumulated. Somewhat even.
And these carries are both off to a
Oh my
very,
God.
very good
Austin
start
maybe
here.
even in the bottom lane. Oh, he's juking around in the trees, preventing the pull from Vitaly. That's kind of a sign for the Brewmaster as well. Like, man, this lane's not going my way at all. He's fallen behind in CS, not having a great time, and then Austin just making it harder for him with these constant interruptions.
But it should be fine. And when he gets level 6, they'll have the opportunity to pressure him no matter what here. Maybe with more points into that calling as well. Increases the silence duration against the Brewmaster. Maybe that's the other logic. Just lock him down, perma-silence him.
In that way. But shouldn't he already be level 6?
The Brew?
Yeah.
I mean, shoulda, coulda, woulda. He's not this game.
He is not this game for sure. Arcane Rune spawns. That's a good one. Faker going to be picking it up. Dismar going to get hit and doesn't actually even get hit by that swashbuckle. So they're going to have to rely with the rest of the spells to finish him off. Another connection with that Orb of Corrosion. And there's your snowball being used. Connection on the Gardic. Faker will get the swashbuckle to finish him off. So that's going to be the Tusk going down.
And right now, I mean, we're talking about how Brewmaster's struggling a little bit. If you look at the Death Prophet, sure, maybe level 6 before the Brewmaster, but not by much. Net worth is worse, though. So DP's struggling even more than Brew is in this particular game. And mid lane, Coddle mid, you do have your bots. You're supposed to be the most farmed hero on the map right now. But even Pango is beating you in net worth there. So it's a slight advantage here for Hikori, as in Universitario, your supports are also getting picked off a little bit. And the Skywrath is actually by far the most farmed support in the game right now. So maybe not a huge win from Infinity here, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, that was also like what it was. Oh, bottom lane, actually. Morita being targeted here. Dad's going to be dropping low. Down to 500. Drops the calling, but it's just not going to be enough. That Brewmaster, that's a snowball save. And maybe just in time, 3 more seconds until those Brewlings are going to be turning into the real deal. That Qhali has to fight himself against the rest of the world, but Faker's coming into the rescue. They've got the Muerta detected. Faker can't get the connection. He will finally, with that swashbuckle, taken down. And here comes Lissix, just a tiny bit too late with that exorcism to help out his carry, but at least they can get the Brewmaster. That's something. Trade-off happening there with a 2-for-1.
That's your exorcism. That's bringing all 5 heroes to the mix there. Meanwhile, Morphling is just going to pound away at your tier 1 in the top lane. Of course, you can defend it with James here, with the Keeper of the Light. But
and a DD
not how you necessarily want to use your first exorcism here, as it may not translate into much here. So you do have that level 2 living armor available for Gardic here to defend this tower.
Yeah, that exorcism now runs out, so he can't poke more on that bottom tower. And the Treant also keeping that extra armor, that extra HP region up on it. While a DD already instantly popped by the Pango, he wants to use this time that he still has to poke this mid tower, and does a decent job at it too. James can be throwing in that Illuminate. Should be clearing out the creeps. Well, at least, well, almost all of them.
I think the big power spike for Infinity right now is going to be the fact that Pango has just picked up a Diffusal Blade. So that is a huge tool. Now having that extra damage on the Swashbuckle, having that chase potential for the Pangolier here. It's a fast Diffusal Blade, and it's a scary one as well.
It definitely is. Like, the reason why it's also so good on the Pango, because it's not just the stats, but it's guaranteed damage, because you can no longer dodge Rolling Thunder. You pop it on the roll, and you know you're going to get a connection, so it's technically just free damage. And then you also get the benefit of Swashbuckle, and oh, you can see it right there. Tusk taking a big beating there. He's going to pop that snowball. He's not even going to try and dodge this one. Lumiere is going to come for the kill. And he is top in net worth right now. And I was expecting Lumiere to be pulling off a performance just like this, that he should be top 1 or top 2 almost every time. And he's doing that exactly right now.
And this is where you're going to see Infinity, sorry. You see the Hikori logo on the top. Infinity, not Infamous. All right, I'll get it straight. But they're going to get off to a good start here pretty easily, as they're going to defend their tier 1 top. They're going to take the tier 1 bottom. You don't have any huge timings right now if you are on Universitario here, because you do have this Death Prophet. This is not a playmaking hero. You don't have like this Brewmaster ult on the other side with Vessel up, by the way. You've hit all your timings right now. All the timings have been hit for Infinity, and now they are going to try and use them. Or they have the capability to defend just about anything, and you're even popping your Exo right here, but here comes the smoke. Infinity are not going to let this go.
That's also a Treant +6 armor for this tower. It's going to be very difficult to poke and prod. They're wasting time off of this exorcism, and Infinity, they're just waiting for their time to strike, and they're going straight for the backline. They've got that tusk. Austin's going to be fighting against Faker. Faker going to get pushed about with the cogs. Michael very low on HP. Desmar's already gone down, and James wants this kill. He's going to get at least something out of this, but they've lost 2. And Pango going to be a bit late for the party there. Faker won't be able to get much done with that Rolling Thunder. But 2 kills, tower defended, exorcism spent. Lumiere's got some confidence now here.
That could have been way worse for Universitario there, but luckily that clockwork with the hook shot to stop the first initial Rolling Thunder, make him back out and go on the DP, who was already probably dead. Probably saved the lives of about 2 heroes, I would say, in the backlines for Universitario here.
And Infinity, they will take that tower, and they will look for a kill as well. Austin already vesseled up with that Cinder Brew, slowing him down. It looks like that's going to be a gap that's going to be very difficult to close in. Lissex should be safe under the tower. Not going to go for this one, Lumiere. However, spies a little ancient stack. Oh, for me? I'll take it.
Yeah, and if you look at the difference in lineups here and why I'm a bit worried here for Universitario, is that this DP is playing versus a Vessel now, and you're seeing
he's going very aggressive into the lane as well. They're going to get the jump onto this DP, and Lissex is gone. Vitaly does get the ulti off just in time, and now Austin surrounded by hostiles when he thought he had an easy target on the Brew. There's much too many for him to bargain here, and they will lose Desmar and Dan and James. The last 2 versus 5, trying to hold their ground under the tower. Cyclone throws the Muerte into the air.
Dad here.
He's still set up for him here. Muerta surrounded. Get that instant dispel there with that Pierce the Veil, and will not get hit by that Overgrowth. Gets a kill, but he's still going to go down. Perfect dispel timing there, popping the Pierce the Veil at the same time as the Overgrowth connected, but still doesn't make a difference.
It was a good attempt there, and yeah, the basic dispel maybe was one of the reasons why they thought about picking this versus a Treant. Have that early dispel here, but as we saw, the Pierce the Veil isn't making you immune to damage this game. You're still going to get hit by the Rolling Thunder. You're going to get chain stunned. The Mystic Flare can be on top of it. Brewmaster has tons of AoE. Morph has AoE. It's not a game where Morta can just press R and then you are invulnerable, right? It's going to be very difficult, and that's not even the biggest issue that you do have right now.
Invis Rune in the bottom lane. Maybe if he finds James, this is a kill he can take. He's got a kill that he can take. The Illumina is going to be charged up. Faker, he's going to walk right next to him. And this is a huge one. TP coming in from Lumiere. James knows he's in trouble right now, but Austin comes in between. It still won't matter. They've lost James right away with a big burst from Lumiere, and there goes Austin as well. Faker on the hunt with that Invis Rune, and it pays off.
This is a very aggressive build as he has Boots of Travel. He'll TP top lane now. They have the Vessel available, so even if you do this, okay, you can just TP out. But that's about all you can do as a Death Prophet right now. It's just try to silence and TP right now. The opportunities where you can just pop your ultimate, run in with Spirit Siphon, be unkillable, that's where DP normally shines, but that is not an option in this game. Maybe when he gets his Greaves here with the Dispel on the Vessel, he might be able to do it. But even then, this Morph is getting closer and closer to that Scotty, and that is something that he will not be able to get rid of.
Also, a bit of a downside for Dad right now is he would like to get quick pickoffs with the help of this Clockwork, but constantly they have to play on the defensive. It's Infinity that's making all the moves, and here you see as well, Faker going to get jumped on. Silence might just be enough. Yes, it is. And you can happily trade a Clockwork away for this, but he will live. Dismar gets the jump on Michael. And you've got 2 supports around here. Lumiere showing up, though. That's the scary one. Vitaly coming in as well. Dad, he can't get these kills. He wants the Treant so bad. Well, Lissex coming in from the side. Exorcism burnt as well. Lumiere, he's also retreating to the low ground. And it will be a 2-for-1 trade. Universitario getting themselves some good kills with that Pango blown up right away. He thought he could survive, but the silence, too much.
Maybe with the mid tower as well. Yeah, with this max calling, if you do manage to get a cogs off on some, it'll silence you, and by the time the next Revenant comes, it'll silence you again. So you're looking at perma-stun here, and I think that's pretty why you're seeing this is a good
position for Universitario, but Infinity TPing in. Faker just respawned, and the tower denied by Michael. So a bit of extra gold taken away, and they've also backed out. They recognize the exorcism has now run its course. But they can't get a fight to break loose either. I think they would have probably lost that fight. They got a good position for themselves going on in that mid lane. However, the tower, no gold.
Yeah, that's a little punishment on the Pango for the going that boots of travel in that last fight, as we did see there. Just getting perma-silenced. I think when he does get to that Manta timing, which he's going for, it'll be a lot harder to kill these heroes. And if you look at your tools for Universitario on how you can get kills, it's going to be off the calling, it's going to be off the clockwork. Maybe a Tusk will make that same initiation, but once you no longer have that perma-silence play of locking him down with the Revenant Silence, your options are kind of low because you got a DP offlane and a Coddle mid, right? These heroes will provide no lockdown, and we've seen this story before. If you have a lineup that has low lockdown,
they see Roche.
It gets harder. And I think Manta is an item that's going to make this game very, very difficult.
They see them going into the Roche pit. That ward on the edge of that twin gate has shown their location.
They have
Rocket will confirm.
I mean, they see it, but what can you do, right?
Trying to activate the portal. It is Austin.
Okay, Austin went in. He wants to steal it. But he's been spotted out.
Yeah. He's the one who dropped the ward down and left the portal ages ago. Now he's just going to get hunted. Now he's going to get killed.
I mean, that was definitely one of those situations like, all right, guys, just farm. Maybe I'll try to steal it. Maybe I'll get lucky.
Yeah, and it's going to be another kill. That's Desmar dying in the mid lane. Faker, he's got it.
Sports having a rough one here.
Sure.
We talked about how impactful this mantle will be from Faker. Giving away these kills is going to push him closer and closer to that timing here, as it is 19 minutes in the game. 7k advantage here for Infinity.
And that top tower, that's going to be history in a matter of moments as they can continue going with this push. Just reset and go again once the creep wave arrives. James is going straight back to the base. Dad trying to farm these Ancients at the same time. He's got decent farm speed, but can't keep up with the Morphling anymore. Maybe that
it's not really... It's not a game where he's going to be the 1v5 type of carry, right? He doesn't have the support staff to help him. When you pick heroes like Coddle, you pick heroes like Death Prophet, they all need to kind of pull their weight. And maybe they can at some point in this game, but there's definitely been a large window that has been missed for them to do that, as we do see a hook shot.
Oh, but Qhali trying to get the form off, and the Primal Split.
He got it.
He just got a 30 HP. Oh, Austin.
Give this clockwork a break, man. Come on.
35 HP. That's all he needed. One right click, one more battery assault. But no. But no. Sweet dreams are made of these.
I mean, if you're Brewmaster, that was more like a nightmare for the clockwork.
It certainly was. Oh, and the last time one support died, another was found. Desmar, Michael gets the jump on him. Waiting. No Mystic Flare. Already burnt a half a minute earlier. Faker has to use the Rolling Thunder. Austin's back in action. He's ready to go again. And he will get a level. So level 9, thanks with that kill off of Michael.
Oh, good punish there. A little bit of an overextension there. Pango had to use his roll because he's like, hey guys, if I get hooked here, if I get silenced, I'm dead, because he had no Manta. If he had Manta, he'd pop and get out. Still 200 gold away from Manta, so it's coming soon.
Going. There's got the hook shot. They've got the Morphling.
No
Morphling
Manta.
Doesn't have Manta available right now, and they will drop him and that Aegis. Gardic got the Overgrowth connected onto 2. Lissex is coming in as well with that Exorcism. Now they're going to have to help out Lumiere. He's backing into the high ground. Deadshot doesn't quite connect there, and Gardic will give his life away. Universitario finding a good tempo there. Punishing Michael earlier on, and now finding Gardic as well. Austin, he might have died before, but it was just, you know.
Pango has Manta. He's behind them here. What's he trying to do here on Faker? This could be risky. Could be genius. Maybe with this Manta, he feels like he is unkillable. He does find the Pango. Or the Tusk with his Pango. And what a shards, actually. Almost saved him. That was a good attempt there from Dismar, but unfortunately, not enough. But we'll have to see here as Faker is going to push into the bot lane here with his Manta style. Michael and Lemire. will be going behind him and trying to support him in any way they can, as Austin just lurking behind here, seeing what he can do. He brought his courier all the way around there. Quite interesting. But I guess I feel like if you're Universitario, continue to do these plays. You have like lots of options to just like make crazy things happen. And the fact that they just found this Morphling with Manta on cooldown, being able to get that hook shot into Vessel, into Silence, into Chain Silence, getting that Aegis right away, forcing out the Overgrowth, really just helped them out a lot here. And it looks like they might potentially have a Tormentor on the menu here for Infinity here, as they will go ahead and claim it, and we'll see who goes ahead and grabs it. It will go straight to Michael here. Not necessarily the item shard that you were looking for, but it's the one you're gonna get here. The other option was a Trine Protector, which would have been much better with that Nature's Guise, allowing you to go invisible. Part of the reason why this hero is so cool is Nature's Grasp with that shard will allow you to have more reach in the team fights.
Surely not the biggest shard. However, Universitario, do they get a better one for themselves? Tusk shard. Okay. Extra slow. Bit of DPS on that ice shard.
Bit bigger too, so it's pretty good.
Anything you can get at this point. Oh, Austin. Oh, he can't even hook shot away. He's like, help me. Help me.
He hooks like the spirit of Qhali. I see a hero. Oh, no, that's just not even an illusion. What do you even call it? I guess a spirit, right? Just spirit form. Not many spirit types in the game. But two of them are on Universitario when you have like the Revenants from the Calling or Spirit, and then you got the Qhali form. Units that you just can't interact with.
You got the side of death, you got the side of light.
Yeah.
You have a machine that has no life or no soul whatsoever. That's just the machine. They've got all three different forms.
You're telling me
8K lead.
Wally has no life?
Still going to the way of Infinity. And they're stalling for the time being. Just chilling for a bit. They have this game pretty well in their pockets. No need to go for any risky moves here. Just wait for and abide their timing. Very likely the BKB for the Morphling. It's going to be a pretty huge pickup. And also, Faker 600 gold short from picking up the Blink Dagger for this Pangolier. So I believe those two items ready. 26 minutes, we're good to go.
Yeah, we definitely have some interesting item pickups for sure. One of the more interesting ones that I do see is Brewmaster queuing up for a Radiance. Not really close to it, so maybe he will not just opt for it. But we've got our basic kit on the Pango. Morphling with that BKB now, even if he does have Manta on cooldown, can't be surprised there. We'll have another Get Me Out here. As I think he needs quite a few of them. You got Silences galore on the side of Universitario, and of course you do have the Qhali, who is constantly going to put Solar Blinds on you, constantly going to put Spirit Vessels on you, so having ways to remove it or at least not be affected with that debuff immunity, absolutely crucial here. And the gold lead not really going too much higher on the side of Infinity here, but it's definitely still a steady and slow increase as a team fight potentially could happen, as Infinity, I believe they do want to make something happen with this Morphling BKB.
I'm just curious, how far can this Muerta carry go? Because I feel like some games, it could be somewhat of an ultimate late game carry, but there's just so many better carries compared to the Muerta. But it's definitely a fun one to play, because it's not like Sniper. Obviously, it's... I mean, okay, Sniper does have the grenade, right? Which gave him like that extra tool to play around with. But Muerta's got like a somewhat of a similar, but still a very different type of kit. You benefit from fears, you benefit from silences, making you more capable on taking down supports and not needing to buy like a silence item. Like some of the Nagas and stuff, they'd go for like Orchid, Bloodthorn. Muerta doesn't need that. You've got the Calling for that. And that smoke, let's see how's it connecting. Desmar, James TP's out right away, so the smokes have popped. They've lost their extra movement speed, and they're out. So this was exactly the 26-minute time they were looking for with those blinks and BKBs, but they won't get it.
And unfortunately, this is a almost max duration Roshan respawn. It was like 250 or something for the Roche to respawn, so they're going to sit around the Roche pit knowing that it can be up right now, but what they don't know is this Roche is not going to be up anytime soon here. And in fact, when it does get up, it's going to be close to going to the Radiant side here.
And you know,
go.
you know who's stalking for it? Look at the very top left corner. It's Mr. Austin. You know, he's found himself a nice little corner to hide in, and he'll just abide his time.
He's waiting. Maybe he'll throw a rocket and flare in here.
He's going to wait there for 2 minutes. He's not leaving.
But he doesn't know if it's up or not, but he can know whether or not if they're doing it or not, just based on how they're moving on the map.
I'm just going to watch Austin for the next 2 minutes and wait for that blind hook shot. And it doesn't hit anything. Or maybe it hits Gardic.
That would be very strange. I mean, he has no wards on him, so he's literally just waiting.
He's just waiting, yep. No need to go anywhere else. You know the team's playing the map. He's got the Roche duty. You know, like sometimes when you have people set up for like patrols and stuff, you take first shift on the night watch and stuff. Well, Austin, he's on the Roche patrol.
Not really a position you want to be in Dota, just like Lizex right now. Not a position you want to be in, as you have pretty much no way to get out of this one. See you later.
Yeah. Good night, DP. Still 1 more minute for Roshan. And Austin's gone. He's no longer staying there. He just DP'd out.
I mean, you said Austin's on the duty, but look at Gardic. He's also on Roshan duty.
Yeah. Well, Gardic has nothing better to do. You know, like they're already leading.
They both just have nothing better to do.
Guess you could put it that way. Austin finally throws in the rock.
It's the pause 5 job, right?
The pause 5 job, yeah. It's not the Lich waiting on high ground to put Frost Shield. Just sitting around inside the base. At least these supports get to move around the map a bit more.
And Infinity are just like, where the hell is this Roshan at, man? It's been 2 minutes already. How unlucky can we be? And they might be calling it quits here in a second, being like,
they're
right,
gonna.
whatever.
I mean, this is actually smart because 1 minute is going to be daytime Roche, and they're going to be heading towards the bottom lane. Muerta, they've got the detector Faker with the dust, and he's down to half HP. Dad trying to go for the TP out, but no, sir. Your exit has been denied, and Gardic's found another. It's Austin. Now he gets the hook shot out into the next camp, but still Gardic. Oh, you got the big tree chasing the machine. Still trying to make a run for it. Gets whipped up as well with that concussive shot, already slowing him down. And that's 2 kills, and this time, Roche
now they know.
Is up.
Now they know for sure in 20 seconds here that Roche will be on the Radiant side here, so they're just going to make base here, camp it up, get 2 kills on top of it. And one item that I was going to mention that Muerta doesn't like buying, like almost ever, and it feels like if you ever do buy this item, you don't have enough damage, as Dismar will go ahead and get himself out there. It's the BKB. This is just an item feels like Muerta kind of needs in most games, especially this game. But it feels like you can never buy this item and feel like you have enough damage to kill the enemy. So one of the flaws and why we don't see Muerta a ton, great in the early game, does a lot of damage, but sometimes has an issue getting to hit heroes, especially with this much AoE to be able to put on the ground.
Roche is now back to the bottom half of the map, so whenever Infinity want to take it, they can do it, but they're going to push out the wave at least.
Everyone knows it's there.
Going to be pushing a bit. Oh, actually, the Kobolds want a bit of extra action, so they decide to run for the camp instead of the
Can you give this away, though, if you're Universitario, or at least... I don't know, like... I get it. It's a fight that you're probably going to lose, but when is it going to be a fight that you're going to win, right? When will you find that fight that you can win?
Yeah, they're considering going to the portal. They already threw a rocket flare that way. Unfortunately, they are not.
And look where Tree's at right now.
I think he saw Lizex, or did he?
Yeah, well, I don't know, but he's in a great spot to catch him if he wants to. But team is too far away. Just keeping information on him. Does have Yules and Guardian Greaves, so definitely can't just overgrowth him. But
that's a great start for the fight. You could just force out his buyback and his exorcism. But Gardic will let him slide. I'm going to make it too obvious.
That's the question. And stalk the backlines.
James is coming, rolling thunder, and they spotted him. And there goes your DP. He's going to be uled up into the air. Faker can't quite get the connection. Nothing to bounce off of. Now rolling thunder, that's going to be a miss.
Yeah, no shard on the Pango yet, so he can't really sit there and wait out the Yules and get that chain stun, as he is going for the Aghanim Scepter instead. And I think that Aghanim Scepter is something that's going to be very annoying to deal with if you... Pretty much every hero on Universitario, but especially Dad on his Muerta. Having that extra spam of the swashbuckle coming out over and over again. Really only having that Pierce the Veil to save you just for a small amount of time.
Yeah. Look what Lumiere just found for himself. Of course they get a DD rune for the Morphling, so even more grim news. This 6, they're still trying to hunt him, but Austin, he's got an idea. The dust will connect and guard it. You have been spotted. Universitario finding themselves a pick off of the support treant. He's been stalking for so long.
Dad, is he trying to make a kill happen here, or what's going on here? This, is Silver is going to run out. Envision, he forced staffed right away, but he's going to be able to TP. No stun available for the Pangolus. There's no Basher available. And Lumiere,
I like the idea, but I think that's still maybe a bit too risky, considering that Infinity has always been moving around with at least 3 heroes, except for the Treant Protector, who's always alone. I kind of like the idea of getting a quick snap pick-off and then just getting away from there, but I don't think that's going to happen more than maybe once or twice, and
who
Dad's
can kill?
playbook's open.
That's the real question. I don't even think that Pango's a kill there. If he's alone, you can kill Tree and Sky.
Yeah, Tree and Sky, pretty much, yeah.
You got the Ghost Scepter, but that's the cool thing about Morta. Morta doesn't care about Ghost Scepter. She welcomes Ghost Scepter. Very interesting choice, actually, from Sky. I'm sure the Ghost Scepter is supposed to save him from this game.
Maybe he just wants to live against the Exorcism. I don't know.
If Pierce the Veil is down as well, of course, that will save you.
Yeah. That is still, I think it's still a pretty worth item.
Oh,
they're going to run into that as well.
He actually used the
Silver Brew, and the Radiance is there. Lumiere's coming. Oh, look at that! There's your DD nuke from Lumiere. 3 hits. And Muerta does not have a buyback, so this is a great opportunity for Infinity to take some buildings.
Yeah, he just ended up buying the Yasha recipe as well as the Blade of Alacrity, so there goes your buyback. Not sure if it would even help him in this situation.
Not much you can do.
Without it, definitely gonna lose their barracks here.
Maybe even lose Lumiere. There goes your Aegis. But also guarding. Oh, he's trying to get his ulti off, but no.
Okay, that's deep.
But at least they got the racks. So I guess you could say mission accomplished. We had some collateral damage.
Yeah, not a huge deal. Just a small mishap, as we'll call it. But at the end of the day here, all is good for Infinity. And we talked about that Brewmaster and what items he's progressing. I said that Radiance is far away. Well, that Radiance has been done, and he's 2,500 gold going into the Shiva's Guard next. So a very, very farmed Brewmaster here. In fact, everyone on the side of Infinity incredibly farmed here, as we do have a finished Aghanim's Scepter as well for Faker on his Pango, and Lumiere just completed the Satanic. So a whole new round of items on the table here for Infinity going into this next fight, but they no longer have the Aegis. But do they need it? That's going to be the question. With how fast that Morta dies in these fights, I'm not sure.
Lumiere definitely has been struggling a bit against that vessel. He's been using his Manta pretty offensively, you know, like just using those illusions to do some damage, and then no longer has nothing to dispel it with except for maybe trusting the BKB. Of course, you've got Satanic, which you do want to save more for fights, or at least if you've dropped low, you see a creep wave spawning, you'll clear that one out with the Satanic.
Triple dispel.
They did get that, but they did get that Aegis kind of free. Without a real actual full commit, just vessels, illuminates, rocket spam, a couple shards, and boom.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Lumiere wants to go for like a disperser as well for a 4th dispel, but I can see the appeal of a swift blink as well. Normally you get this blink dagger when you're feeling really strong. Pairs really well with the Black King bar. Just get in there, use your abilities, snipe out this Morta right away. Pretty good choice.
Yeah, you call it the disperser, but at that point, Morphling becomes the dispeller.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much it.
Oh, but here we go. There we go. The Walrus kick initiation into the hook shot, but the snowball, the Lotus snowball will save Vitaly. And this spark goes down, meanwhile at the same time. Lissex very low on H. Well, not him low being on HP, but Gardick's going to get blown up, and that Ignis will help them out a bit, but now he's going to get initiated on. Here's Dad coming in. Pierce the Veil already used up, but he is too afraid to just charge in. His team's trying to make space, trying to make some time. Lumiere, he's taking some hits here from Dad, but he's getting himself out of there. And Austin, he's gone too deep. And he will go to his grave. Dad, gonna get hit by Faker there. That's about it. They do get back to the safety of their high ground.
Lumiere will full heal there. I mean, Lumiere was very cautious in that fight. It was not a great fight for Universitario, but Lumiere was kind of like pacing back and forth, and I mainly put most of my focus on like who's he gonna go and who's he gonna snipe, but he's kind of just running circles there, not totally confident to go in without that Aegis, and with Mortar popping Pierce the Veil there. But luckily, this Pango, this Brewmaster, doing tons of damage in that fight. 4.5k damage from the Pango, 2.7 from the Brewmaster, and even the Sky with 2.5k damage here.
And we're gonna need some crucial items here, because at least Desmar, he got a good opening for that start. However, Vitaly got a bit lucky there with that Lotus Orb, because he wanted to follow up with a snowball stun, and which he did. But as that kick ended, that just gave him the time to use Lotus Orb, and oh, Brewmaster's actually saved. Because that was even at the same time, it's a bit lucky, because that was also your initiation, but it was also his savior.
Yeah, and that's going to be like the one big tool that you have for Universitario here is getting that snowball into kick combination, catch a hero by surprise, and maybe kick him into the middle of your base, right?
Yeah, I needed Hex or something for that, and Coddle's already on the works for it, because you can't allow him to get that Lotus Orb off.
Already in the works. This time a lot more impressive last time you said it.
Hey, we got a sheep stick on the works.
Like Darkseer's on the way to Hex right now with 300 gold and no parts of it. Yeah. This time he's at 3.4k, so he's actually getting fairly close to that item.
Oh, you know, fake hype.
I love it.
That was a good example of that. We'll see what happens here. Protecting the Roche Pit area. 5 seconds, and Gardic going aggressive here, but doesn't have an idea. However, when Universitario, they do. And there goes your Treant Protector. He's out of play. Faker coming in. He's got a rolling boulder going onto the clockwork here. And does actually get a nice 2-man hook shot, but they just don't have any follow-up for it. They're also spread out. They're so scared. Dad's just going back and forth. Doesn't know who to focus on. And there we go. There's the initiation onto Lumiere. But Dad, he's been out of this fight for half the time. Just waiting for the BKB. Maybe it paid off. Yes, it does. Lumiere goes down. And maybe they can give him more out of this one. James will give his life away. And Lissex, he's low on HP at 500 right now. But this Muerta... Oh, I was like, do they want to fight at all? But just waited for the BKB to be forced out, and he saw his opportunity, and now they make them pay for it. Faker, he jumps in, he does a lot of damage to this Muerta, and they turn it around. Find themselves the carries, the cores are down. Austin will be left for a moment, but he will not survive this fight. And a buyback coming off of the Coddle. James, it's a dieback. Sorry, it's a team wipe for Universitario. And a buyback.
Yeah. I mean, pretty much all you could ask for if you're Universitario in a fight like that and still losing it. At the beginning, if you're wondering, when I was talking about Muerta's good versus Morphling, you're going to see here exactly why that is the case. You're going to see right here, this... I mean, Garda gets caught out a little bit, right? He's a little over-aggressive, doesn't get the root off. Great cogs as well on top of trapping Faker in there for some time there. A hook shot onto 2. Lumiere pops his BKB. Look how patient we are being here from Dad here on the Muerta. And this is a damage output that you can buy. All right, BKB, it's running out. Dad realized it. Time to go. Lumiere, he wants to fight, but he's dead in like 4 hits there. For that Pierce the Veil. He doesn't care about your armor anymore, but unfortunately for him, there's more than just one farmed hero on the side of Infinity here. There's also Faker on his Pango. He comes in towards the end here as this replay does wind on here. You go on Vitaly, you try to kill him, but in the backline, Faker, he's going to kill 2 heroes. He's going to mop up Lissex on his Death Prophet. Then, of course, Dad will go follow suit as he no longer had any defensive capability now that Pierce the Veil was down. They're just too farmed at this point on Infinity. You have multiple threats to deal. Take care of one of them. How do you take care of all 3 of these threats?
Cut off one head and 2 will take its place, right?
Yeah, something like that.
For Infinity. Already so far ahead at this point of this game, but trying to find some answers at least. Like that patience. I was getting worried. Are you waiting past your luck? But it was exactly what they planned for. But yeah, Faker. 8-1 and 18 on this Pango. 8-1 and 8 on Lumiere's Morphling. 2 raid bosses.
Now we have an Aegis. And we have an Ag's Blessing on Lumiere here. Debating, does he want to take this nerfed Aghanims for himself? Or does he want to give it to someone else? As the choice has been made, and they give it to Treant Protector. Eyes in the Forest. To me, this says they want to play the long game, as Clockwork does get sniped out there by Faker and Michael on that Skywrath plus Pengu combination.
Nothing to see here.
Not really, yeah.
Poor Austin.
Just Austin doing his thing.
But that's Clockwork gameplay at this stage of the game, right? Either you're in the fight initiating, dying, or trying to push out a wave, dying. Yeah, that's just how the hero works at this point.
Yep, yeah, Universitario has done... Honestly, they're doing better than I expected, just based off of these two teams matching up. It's going 42 minutes in the game here, but down 31k gold against a Cheese and an Aegis.
Oh, but there might just kill down in the top lane. They've got Faker and Gardic surrounding him, and Qhali coming in as well. And he has gone for 84 seconds. That's a go sign for Infinity. They're like, hey, we could maybe force Muerta's buyback. Oh, they don't know he can't afford it. 1,600 gold short. No way this Muerta's coming back in 70 seconds. Faster than that, at least.
Definitely not. And that's probably going to be substantial damage to your buildings here. We'll see how far Infinity does want to push this advantage here. They get the glyph, and that's going to be their only glyph, by the way, as they've already taken a tier 3.
Austin,
another 60 seconds gone. This is a 3v5 snare against Aegis Cheese. Good luck, my friends. You're going to need it.
It's like, Lissex is like, well, the moment I pop Exorcism, it has to count, so we're going to have to force these mid-racks to fall and wait for the Muerta to come back up. A Clockwork, huge piece of your defense. The big controller. Not going to be there for another 40. Dismar, at least he can do something here, but Faker already protected from the Ignis. And going straight in for Dismar. The Tusk will pay for it with his life. This Sex should be fine.
Right, 10 seconds for Muerta, but they got two supports with no buyback now. Trading their lives to buy time for Dad to respawn, but that's Mega Creeps.
That is Mega Creeps indeed, and maybe even more. Morphling just charging in. James doesn't stand a chance. Only barely getting out with 200 HP. And there goes Lissex. He's been targeted by the Mystic Flare. That's another one down. 70 seconds. Does still have that Exorcism, but look at Gardic going for the back line, dropping a very nice overgrowth, and there's your Muerta surrounded and killed again. And that is looking like the game over. There is no turning this tide.
Definitely not here, but maybe they'll try with this DP ultimate here, but as soon as Lissex dies, if he dies, that'll be the end of it, but still not dead for now here. As he will kite him out. However, Exorcism, all right, kick him into the fountain. Maybe that's what you can do. And a beautiful Cogs there, trapping all the Brewlings in there. But one will sneak away.
Their best.
Or will
trying their best here to hold here at least, but the tier 4
really
still taking damage from Lumiere. Throw him back into the fountain.
And they'll hold on.
They actually are holding. Yeah, they're going to have to back out with their resources completely spent. This fight was too long for Infinity.
I don't know if this game's winnable or not, but they definitely bought some more time in this with this Tusk play, kicking the Brew back in twice. A cheeky little dust
Valiant
there.
Defense. However,
very valiant indeed. But
Morse still coming back in. Lumiere, he's got Austin on his sights and tries to wait for him in, gets pushed away by the Cogs. Lissex is also right there, but no Exorcism this time. Ismar thrown into the air, does get the blink out to safety. Faker will be targeting, but the Yule's there from the DP, dodging that stun. Lumiere going to get hit on the Morphling. Morphling going to be in trouble. Needs to get the BKB off. And there we go. The Satanic Heal comes out as well. Won't be able to snipe him when they wanted to get a quick opening on the Morphling. Lumiere unkillable. And he's out. Another kill for Infinity.
More time bought here. Not exactly sure for what here, but Dad is going to continue to farm.
Borrowed time, Fear.
Yeah.
That's what they're living on.
They most certainly are. As I don't see any huge item. I mean, Dad has a Hex queued up. Maybe that's it. Maybe you can Hex this more. Burst them. Force them to buy back and kill him again. And then go down mid.
There's still a Hex in the works for Qhali. Still not finished.
He actually has less gold than he had before the last time you talked about it.
Yep.
With all these buybacks and deaths happening, really not really... Yeah, he's really not making any progress on that, is he?
And there's a shard going from Muerta, who actually gets spell lifesteal now with Pierce the Veil been active. So with the
That's
Mask of
some
Madness and then
permanent
the spell
ability
amp.
gain or something, or permanent spell amp if you kill a hero.
So 2% spell amp each time she kills somebody or somebody dies in the vicinity of the Muerta. So it's a bit late, but
that's the beginning of the comeback. That's what it
will
is.
do. Austin, there's the beautiful overgrowth again, and they're stuck this time. This fight's over much faster than the last one. Clockwork coming in with a buyback into the kick. Faker brought into the fountain, trying to escape, but no, his life is forfeit. But the Ancient's down to half HP. Lumiere still hammering away. Another swift blink to the side. They've got a Vitaly there with those Brewlings, causing issues for the Muerta. Dat doesn't get to do much right now. That person already burnt. 500 HP is all they need, but they found that. They found this far, and there's the GG call. So the borrowed time finally coming to the end as the Reaper, Infinity, take game one.
Pretty convincingly, too, here.